Guys, so it's hot in the south. It's like super hot. I know I'm complaining, but it's more of a humidity thing. Because the temperature, I was gonna move to Arizona where it was at least a dry heat. I don't know how I would act because I've always been an Arkansas girl, never been outside of the states that surround Arkansas. So today I wanted to talk about children. Now I know I've made it clear that I am for women having the right to get an abortion. And I have, I know that I touched upon, that there's a lot of kids in the world. We are a nation of some really bad parents. Now, I'm not saying that the other nations aren't as bad. I didn't do my research on how many kids are in foster care in England. Um, I do know that life was really bad in London right before they came out with birth control. Women were having 10 kids, and those 10 kids, they were living in like a one bedroom apartment, that was supposed to be condemned. And the thing is that people will keep kids when they ought not keep kids. I'm not saying that those women should have had an abortion because a lot of them did. No, I'm saying that our lifestyle is not that much different in that a lot of people will have kids that they can't take care of. Um, on any given day in the United States, 443,000 kids are in the foster care system. 443,000. That's almost half a million kids. In 2017, 690,000 kids had gone through the U.S. foster care system. Just that year. That is like so close to 700,000. You know, and when you look at what the foster care system brings out in the world, horror stories. And I know that there's a lot of good foster care families out there. My husband and I, when our kids, well, when our youngest is grown, like 15 or 16, we're considering that we'll take in a foster kid, you know. But we do know that a lot of these foster kids are messed up. You don't know what they've seen. And there are things I see that break my heart that will not get a kid taken out of a parent's custody. We really got to do better, y'all. We really do. Children are the future. And if you want a future that has less violence, we have to take care of these kids. We have to make sure that these kids are not fucked up individuals that are going to do fucked up things. I mean, it's one thing if their fucked upness is just, I drank too much last night and got a DUI, which I don't agree with that. I would whoop the shit out of my kid. You drink at home, Buster. You do not drink and drive. I hate drinking and driving. It is like one of the big things that I hate. But you expect your kids to make dumb mistakes like that. You expect that they're gonna make mistakes drinking or fooling around with people. I don't like that a lot of these people that I see, they do all these prison stories and things. And what you see with the most violent offenders is a shitty childhood. Whether they lived with their parents or they went on to foster care, they had a shitty childhood. Nobody took them out of it. I have an officer friend. He tells my daughter all the time how good she's got it compared to other people. That they've got one pair of clothes. There's no food in the house. There's strange people coming and going. And it's like, well, why are they in that house? Why are they subjected to that? A lot of people can go through a shitty childhood and they won't kill people. They won't hurt anybody. But the fact of the matter is, you talk to the people in prison right now, and 99% of them will tell you that they were abused in some way in their childhood. These kids didn't come from good homes where mom and dad loved them and gave them attention, and mom and dad were not drug addicts, not child molesters, not abusers. You know, mom and dad were people that went to work and came home and were good parents. You know, maybe they made mistakes. We all make mistakes. No parent is going to go through and not make a mistake and fuck their kid up in some way or another. Most of the time, the way we fuck them up is we transfer our fears onto them. Like, I'm afraid of flying. My oldest is afraid of flying. You know, I think that she'll actually do it. I think if I would have boarded a plane when I was 18, 19 years old, I'd be able to fly now. But I didn't. And then statistics came in. But we really have to look at what we're doing to children and not just, you know, don't even worry about the babies that may or may not get here. Worry about the ones that are here on this planet. Not just American babies, not just Christian babies, not just white babies, all babies. All lives matter, right? All lives, black lives, white lives, Asian lives, they all matter. So we need to be jumping up when anybody's out there hurting kids, regardless of whether it's Israel or the United States of America pulling kids away from their parents. Let them people have their babies with them. You know, if you're going to throw them in jail, which I don't think they should throw them in jail, but hell, if you're going to throw them in jail, at least let them have their kids with them, you know. Hold them in something, you know, or just take them back across the border. I mean, shit, why we got to hold people for a long time? Why not just escort? I mean, how fucking lazy is that we can't just walk them back across the border? I mean, come on. That's fucking lazy. You're going to sit there and hold them in a cage? Holding people in a fucking cage with people that they may or may not know. You know, and then you got these kids being held in the cages and their parents aren't there to protect them from the bad kids. Because you can't tell me that all of the kids are going to be good. There's going to be a bad egg in there or something, you know, because, come on. You go to any school in the United States, any first grade class, there's going to be a bad kid in that bunch. Doesn't matter. There are bad kids. Doesn't mean they have to stay bad, because they can be helped. But, you know, you're taking away the parent's ability to see what's going on and to try to take that image, you know, like whatever's going on, you know, it's like PG-13, you know, you got parental guidance. Well, when you take the parents away and the kids are with other kids, there's some stuff that goes on that the parents need to be guiding the kids. So I'm saying, you know, why are we even holding these people? Just walk, if they're Mexican, walk them back across. If they're not, take a bus. You know, why do we have to hold people? But personally, I feel like, you know, we got lots of people here that ain't willing to do half the shit that the people coming across the border are willing to do. These people want a future for their kids that is better than what they came from. I mean, isn't that what everybody wants for their children? Is for them to have the life that they work for? And here in America, we got people that are just doing their damnedest to do as little as possible and then complaining that they don't have anything. We don't know struggle. We don't know what it's like to work our asses off from morning till night and then on, and then go work another job and still not have enough to feed our babies. We struggle. Don't get me wrong. There are people here that do struggle. But we don't know what that's like. You know, because if we work from sun up to sundown and then go work another job, we've got food on the table. We can feed our kids. You know, that's not, we don't even have to do half that much to actually accomplish that. And that's without government assistance. You can feed yourself. You may not have a good place to stay. You might live in, I mean, we don't have shacks like what they've got down there. I mean, you go to these third world countries and see how they're living, and you're like, homeless may not be as bad as what some people are living in. I don't know. But we we don't struggle the way third world countries do. We know that somebody's not going to come busting up in our house with Uzis and rape and murder us, and then the government won't do anything about it. We don't know what that's like. We don't know. I mean, we have crooked cops, we do, but their crookedness can be investigated. There's no, oh, it'll never be investigated. No, there are people that can be got in touch with to be investigated, to investigate bad cops, to investigate bad cops' work. There are checks and balances that can be utilized to make sure that people stay on the straight and narrow. Doesn't mean they do, but hey, you'd be hard pressed to find anywhere where there isn't some kind of crime being committed and where there isn't corruption, because man is just, at our core, mankind is corrupt. We're greedy. We're jealous. That's who we are. But our children are the future. And the world keeps getting more and more and more fucked up. And that's because the children keep getting more and more and more fucked up. There's shit going on today that wasn't going on 20, 30 years ago. 40 years, well, no, I should go back further than that. I'm thinking about when I was a kid, 50 years ago. There's shit that's going on that wasn't going on back then. Our parents were actually raising us. And now our parents aren't. Our parents are working their asses off or doing drugs and not working their asses off. The parents are not taking care of their kids. So who's watching the kids? The kids are watching the kids. And they're watching violence. They're having things happen to them because somebody's not paying attention. Because a lot of people aren't paying attention. And people are seeing these kids and saying, that's not my kid, not my problem. But they are our problem, and they will be. When you're 60 years old and a little kid who you saw that you knew was being abused and you didn't say anything, when that kid's stealing your purse and stabbing you to death, that's on you. It's not on that kid. That kid should have got help. We got to take care of the kids. So we need to stop worrying about the ones that the fetuses, that the embryos that may or may not make it to a fetus, that may or may not actually survive pregnancy to be born, and worry about all these kids that are here that are being subjected to violence and abuse and things that their little minds can't wrap around, and then they're turning into killers and just bad people or broken people. We got a lot of people that are just really messed up. They got fucked up as kids, and now they don't live as normal contributing adults because they're fucked up in the head. In and out of hospitals and jail and in and out of relationships, and then they're bringing kids into the world and they're all kinds of fucked up. I mean, we got to stop that cycle by taking care of these kids now. There will never be peace. There will never be anything worth having. It is just going to get worse and worse and worse in the world if we don't start taking care of kids. All kids. They are the future, and I want our future to be better, but I am just one fucking person. I can only really manage my 3 and the ones that I see. So, whoever's watching this, if anybody ever watches this, please pay attention to the kids, all the kids, whether they're yours or not, whether they're from your countrymen or not. And if you're a decent person and you've got no kids, foster some damn kids. At least let them know that the world isn't full of shitty drug using people. You know, let them know that the world isn't all bad, that they just drew a short straw, you know, and have a good night.